First of all, how are you doing under the circumstances?
We're okay. Thank you for asking. We're hanging in there, considering everything. And I think that compared to the rest of the country, Kyiv is doing quite well in this whole mess.
Now, how long were you in Kyiv? Have you been in Kyiv for about a year and a half, 2 years?
Yeah, we moved in November 2020. And we were supposed to go back to Belarus, where my parents are. And my parents are getting older, and we decided to move closer to them. And that was 2 years ago almost. But since they had elections up there, basically we decided that we are going to only go back to Belarus if it's a free country, which right now it's not. So we decided to come to Kyiv because I'm half Ukrainian. I have my roots, I'm half Ukrainian, half Belarusian. And Kyiv seemed like a good logical spot because it's really close to, it's like a straight shot to Belarus, really. And kind of like wait things out and see what happens. So we love Kyiv enough to just kind of say, well, let's just buy here. And that's what we did. We bought a place and it was completely run down, but it was in the building and in the area where we both liked.
It's where they in the old town.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like old Kyiv. So we kind of like tear down the entire flat. They call them flats here. We tear the whole thing down, and build it back up from the ground up, everything. We moved. It took us about like six months, I guess.
6 to 8.
Yeah, 6 months about that.
And we finished the final touches 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks before the war started.
Before the war started.
We just found out yesterday that a hypersonic missile struck somewhere in your area.
Yes, the Retroville Mall. That missile hit about 6.8 miles north of us.
It's the aftermath of the attack which happened last night here in Kyiv, just 15 minutes away from the center. That's crazy. This is totally insane.
Today there was heavy fighting for about 6 hours northeast of the city, which in an area called Brovary, out near Borispol Airport. The guns were running all up until about 4 hours ago. You could just hear artillery nonstop, and then a rocket got intercepted over the Dnipro River, which is only a couple miles from here, but everything fell into the river. Well, we hear a lot. Yeah, we hear a lot of artillery. We had 3 days of almost quiet, almost nothing, except for a couple rocket attacks, and then today it got intensified again.
The building that we're in is literally survived 2 wars. I'm hoping 3 is the charm. Honestly, some black humor, but so the thickness of walls and everything is 60 centimeters.
Yes.
It's big. It's thick.
Yes.
So, and arches and everything. So we at first we ran downstairs and, but now it's you kind of hope you kind of listen to it and seeing if it's close or not close. And if it's really close, seems like something is falling down really close, then we'll go downstairs. If not, we just kind of go in the hallway. That's where the weight-bearing walls are, and just kind of hang out there for a little bit and see what happens.
Do you have a plan B in effect? I mean, do you have an escape plan? I would imagine you've discussed it, thought about it, and you're ready to go at a moment's notice, I would imagine.
We have a bar downstairs, which is technically in the basement. It was a basement. I don't know, maybe at some point it was a bomb shelter, but nowadays
it's a bar.
It's a bar. So, well, obviously everything is closed, but worst comes to worst, basically that's where we're gonna be headed.
We have to break through the wall if worst comes to worst. That's plan B. Plan C is if it's totally devastated, I think is Romania for us.
Which we don't know how and what, because allegedly they do have volunteers that are taking people out, but those volunteers charge like 1,000 euros a head to get out. For us, it's just the two of us and two dogs, and it's a mess on the border and anywhere else, really. When people are trying to get out, civil cars that like literally get either shelled or hit on purpose or not, it doesn't matter, but it's just not safe to travel, from what I'm gathering from all the channels that I'm subscribed to, to see, to follow the news. And it's just like too many casualties. I don't know if you can go, it's terrible. And plus what's going on the borders itself, it's just a mess.
If Kyiv is invaded, God forbid, what are you prepared to do?
Well, we get guns, we'll fight, I think.
Yeah. We saved some, well, apparently, ever since, they imposed curfew, they stopped selling liquor. Like when the war started, like 2 days later, they stopped selling liquor. So thankfully, we're not big drinkers or anything. So we have plenty of liquor right now if worse comes to worse, because right now, there's so many volunteers that wanted to sign up for territorial defense. Including John, by the way.
I went to sign up.
They ran out of guns. They ran out of like literally spots for people they're overcrowded. They basically keep telling them like, coming in a few days. So there are no guns left to distribute. So I'm thinking, the point I was making, worst comes to worst, maybe we'll exchange our liquor for some guns.
The most important thing that I can't stress more is that our Orthodox faith, our faith is what is getting us through this. Our belief in God and going to church on a regular basis and doing confession and doing communion and reading the scriptures and letting that flow through us and give us strength.